Okay. Why you shouldn't follow trends. From Josh Strife says.
I have a question. If I want to stream, do I stream games that I'm passionate about or follow the trends? The streaming is more for fun than trying to go for money. Do whatever you want to do then.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do. I mean, the whole stream question, I've seen this a lot, and oddly, well, not oddly enough, but funny enough, I used to be the one asking this question to all my favorite streamer bros and whatnot, and yeah, the idea of like streaming video games and being an influencer, um, it's just a big enigma. It's not really enigmatic, or it's just a very complex topic to like say, oh, like on the surface, like if I want to stream, do I stream games I'm passionate about or follow the trends? Like just on a surface level, um, you can do whatever you want. Like if I want to stream, well, if you want to stream. You can go download OBS on a single computer, record the screen right there, and stream it on Twitch, stream it on YouTube, stream it on what is it like Twitter? You can stream, Facebook. You can stream to wherever, whenever, however you want. You can do anything you want. Um, and you can stream the trendy game, the new hotness, or you can stream the what do you call it? Your favorite game. Maybe it might not be as trendy, but you can do whatever. But there's a second part. The streaming is more for fun, honestly, rather than trying to go for money. Yes and no, because I mean, I think this person does have like a meaning, like a good intention in that this person probably understands that he's not going to get big, streaming like immediately, if at all. Um, because like I mean, because I tried to do this like years ago. Like I tried to stream on like a somewhat consistent basis, and streaming is both easy and hard. Like in the beginning, when you stream to like literally no one, and you're trying to like talk to yourself, narrate the gameplay and whatever, it's just extremely hard to be entertaining when no one's watching. On the flip side, if you start streaming, if you hit the start streaming button and you're streaming to zero people, you're doing streaming wrong. And if the intention is to just do it for like yourself or your friends or whatever, it don't mean nothing, then fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if your intention is to eventually build up some sort of reputation to try to stream and get paid for it, well then if your first stream you started up and there's like no one watching, well then yeah, you're doing streaming wrong. Streaming is like the end thing that you do. I would say if you're trying to like get big, you need to like establish yourself other places besides Twitch or the streaming or the live party YouTube or whatever. Like get big doing some, or well not big, but like get good at doing something else that is not streaming based. Build up some sort of audience that you could transfer them to like watch you somewhere do something, and then you could eventually stream for money, which is like it's not like bad to want to stream for money or anything. um but I mean there's a ton of different, what's the saying, there are many paths to the top of the mountain. um that's very true. But I mean I'm just ranting on bullshit. Let me see what Joss has to say.
Do whatever you want to do. So it's a knife edge. It's a weird graph. If you want to stream video games, you have to find a way to...
I think I'm in the way. Give me a sec. Oh, oh Jesus. Okay, I think I'm out of the way.
Provide value to the audience. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
No matter what game you use, no matter how you stream, provide value to the audience. If you want to stream an extremely popular game, let's use an example of, Pal World or Apex Legends or something like that, you are going to be competing with a huge number of other streamers, which means if someone divides or kind of searches by just the game, they will not find you. They are more likely to search by the game, without a doubt, because it's a more popular game, but you are less likely to be seen. You're a small fish in a big pond.
Oh, yeah. And on top of it, streaming and being an influencer is more saturated than ever nowadays than when it was in the past. I would say it was. I like my knee jerk thing is I want to say it's easy. It was easier in the past to get noticed, but on the flip side, technologically speaking, it was harder to stream. I'm talking like 10+ years ago, or when Twitch was like Justin TV, or like maybe when it just turned into Twitch or whatever, or like maybe there's some other websites. What was it? Was MLG a website, or like some other like whatever stream sites, where it was so hard just to be able to like record your gameplay. Meaning that if you could get past that first speed bump of figuring out how to record your gameplay, let alone and put a cam on you, just meeting the audience halfway, that was the first speed bump to get over, and then uploading shit onto like YouTube or whatever site. Merely just doing that was enough. Like just showing up was enough back in the day. But nowadays, when you could like look up like on YouTube like any little, what do you call it? You could look up any little YouTube video on like how to start streaming. You could find like a ton of YouTube videos on how to be a streamer or whatever. It's more easily accessible now, and it's not. I would say the bar is being raised constantly on what the standard is to streaming, because it's just so easy to do it now.
Let's say instead you stream a 22-year-old RPG. Let's take Morrowind as an example. There are not that many people streaming Morrowind right now. But equally, there are not that many people searching for Morrowind streams, which means while you are more likely to be found by whoever searches for it, the number of people searching for it are just lower.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, if someone finds you, they will stay because you entertain them.
Yeah.
They will stay because you...
Yeah, like, what is this? Like, Josh does his, like, MMO... What is it? The I play the worst MMOs or whatever. He has that, like, series going. And people don't watch Josh for the MMO. They watch him for, like, the personality, his insight on, like, he's played all these different games and whatnot, and likes to say, like, the good and bads about him. People like to stay for him.
You engage with them and you provide something a stream cannot provide. If you want to do it for fun, you have to understand that when you sit down to play a video game, normally 100% of your focus is on that game. If you sit down to stream, you have to find a way to split your focus between the game and the audience.
Yeah.
And if you split it 50-50, both of them end up being bad.
True. I mean, within the realm of streaming, this is why you have some different things. Well, I say different things, but you have two types of streamers. You have the gameplay first, like the high skill type stream, where you just watch the person for the gameplay. And then you have like the other side, which is just like the entertainment factor. You watch the person for their chat interaction, their jokes, their personality, and so on and so forth. So if you can get both, I mean, that's fantastic. But most of the time, I would say people skew one way a little more than the other.
You aren't paying enough attention to the game to beat the game.
Yeah.
And you aren't paying enough attention to the audience to entertain the audience.
This is why there are certain games that are good stream games, and other games that are just bad stream games. Like a good stream game is a game that you can just turn on, um, and you don't have to pay a lot of attention to it really. Something like Hearthstone, World of Warcraft, to some degree, or at least old school World of Warcraft, not so much retail, depending on who you're watching and whatnot. But like card games or anything like that, those are great stream games. Something like any type of game where you need like a lot of focus dedicated. I honestly I think this is why certain, if not all, FPS games are like, you're seldom will you ever find like like in the FPS genre of all FPS games that are being streamed. Yes, you will find some entertainment streamers, but that is not the majority. I would say the majority of FPS streamers are there because they are like a skills slash gameplay streamer first. Like they're good at the game, they got good aim, so on and so forth. And because they have that, they have a pretty decent understanding of like game mechanics, physics, whatever, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of understandable in that respect. I mean, I only bring up FPS because that's like what I like and am interested in and whatnot.
So you've got to find a way to play a game in such a way that you don't need to pay too much attention to it, but still have some level of skilled gameplay.
Yeah.
While you're paying enough attention to the audience to entertain them. For example, I've just ran completely the wrong way on the map because I'm spamming jump and trying to respond to your content. That's why so many people say to me, "Oh my god, I can't believe I watched this streamer play the game and they were so bad."
Yeah.
They would probably be quite good if they only had to worry about the game.
Right.
I mean, if you want me to just play Morrowind, I can just play Morrowind. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be way better at it.
Yes, but people don't want to watch Josh just play Morrowind. Because if that was the case, I mean, me as a viewer, I could just go and play Morrowind myself. But since that's not the case, I like having a little bit of both. I like having something to look at, like right there, and I like listening.
But I would be feeling guilty constantly about the fact of not entertaining.
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Average chatter.
See, I read that quickly. It's a mini quest about them wanting to kiss you, and if you do, I'm pretty sure you get paralyzed. But I didn't make any content out of it. I decided not to.
Yeah.
And that's a boring way of being. Is there such a thing as being bad at games in a skillful manner? Yeah, without a doubt.
Being bad at games in a skillful manner. What is... So being good at being bad? I don't know what skillful manner means. Instead of playing Morrowind, you can just sit there looking nice, drinking a cup of tea / water. I don't know.
But that doesn't mean that you don't need to have fun while playing them.
I mean, yeah.
The skill is to make it look like you're not putting any effort in, when in reality, you are. Like, if you see someone gracefully swimming across the surface of a lake, what you don't see is the fact that their little legs are going, 20 to the dozen, under the water, trying to make it look like they're not working at all.
And essentially, he's talking about like multitasking. So what happens with multitasking, or what I think people think about multitasking, is this. So this is like time. What people think happens in multitasking is, so like, let's say you're doing a task, or like, let's say 2 tasks. Like, you're streaming a game and you're talking at the same time. People think that, or get that fucking out of there. Like, people think that you are doing exactly the same things at the same time. When what I really think happens is like this goes on, this line goes on, you're doing both at the same time. What I really think happens is this. So like, let's say you stream the game. Okay. And this is like, you know, this is, or let's say playing the game and then talking. Like, let's make it really simple. This is what like, you play the game and then you glance over, you try to read something real quick. And then since that is happening, that you're doing this. And then you have time to respond. You talk, or you play while you talk a little bit, and then it just goes back and forth. And you just go back, and it's not really multitasking. You're just simply switching from doing one to the other at the same time. Like, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And you just bounce back and forth. And you're not really multitasking. You are simply just switching between tasks. And if you do it long enough, like, you can kind of blend them together a little bit. Like, you can like elongate these, and it's like you can kind of shorten up the gaps or whatever. But I mean, essentially, that's what you're doing.
Things look effortless. And someone who understands how much effort these things take will look at you and go, God damn, you're making that look effortless. Sometimes I can't think of anything to say, so I focus on the game. Sometimes I can think of a lot to say, so I focus on you guys.
Yeah.
Chatting and having fun. Ultimately, if I'm not having fun with the game, I'll just stop playing it. You can't make it feel forced. It's one of those horrible things where I've got so many friends and relatives who say to me, oh, my son, my daughter, my cousin, my niece, my nephew.
Where would you like to go?
I'd like to go to Palmieri, please. Is it Palmieri we're going to? Yes. And then Mage's Guild.
Why?
Yeah, you see, he just did it. He had to stop talking, and he had to focus on the game for a little bit, and then he switched back to talking. Like, this is fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Walk when you can run.
So many people say to me, oh, my son, daughter, cousin, whatever, wants to be a YouTuber, wants to be a Twitch streamer. Can you talk to them? Can you give them some advice? And I see so...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I used to be in this... I used to be that guy when I was younger. And I was like a young kid, and it's like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an influencer. I want to play games. I want to make money playing games and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, to deny that would be like stupid. And most likely I will probably never get to do that. But you know, I'll try a little bit, you know, making YouTube videos and whatnot. But I mean, if I don't make it, then I mean, I still have my regular job. This like YouTube thing is just like a side thing I do for fun.
So many people.
Well, what is this? Like, or you can be like Asmongold. He's skillfully bad. Okay.
And when they say they want to be a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, what they mean is they like playing video games. How can they make money doing that?
Yeah.
And that's like saying, I like watching films, therefore how can I be an actor? Okay, it's a good place to start.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
I mean, everybody has to have a starting point. I mean, when you're a little kid or a teenager or whatever, you naturally just look up to people when you're just like experiencing life, and then all of a sudden something clicks in your head. And it's like, oh, I like doing that. I wonder if I'd be any good at that, or something like that. Seldom will you ever come across someone that is just extremely talented at like a young age. You know, that's like, it does happen, and there are outliers of that. Like, there are tons of like, well, not tons, but like there are some like kids at a young age that are like extremely skillful in like music, like playing the piano or like an instrument or whatever. You know, they're extremely smart. Those are outliers. Those are like one in a million, 1 in 10 million. Most of the time, you have to go the path of, I need to work for what I want. That's what most people have to do.
It's a good place to start.
I've
love
heard a
watching
lot about
films.
you, Outlander. Go ahead.
That's why I wanted to be an actor. But what I realized was that just watching films isn't enough to be in films. You then need to go and train at your craft, learn how to do it, that kind of stuff. If playing video games is fun for you, that's great. Watching films is fun for some people. It's like watching football on TV and saying, oh my God, I want to be a footballer. How do I have to do it? Well, ironically, you won't be watching anywhere near as much football if you want to do it.
Kind of. Yes and no. Like, you're not going to watch like other, like, essentially when you're a professional football player, and I don't know anything about that, but like, I would imagine to some degree there are sometimes you have to do like VOD reviews or play reviews or whatever. That's probably about the extent of like extra football you are actually watching and whatever.
You then need to go and train to be an actor, train to be an editor, learn to be a graphic designer, learn to be a researcher, learn to manage your own time, do all your own taxes, that kind of stuff. There's a hell of a lot of work behind it.
Yeah.
Most people do want to receive instant success by going viral. I mean, the amount of companies that approach me. And I know that I go off on tangents a lot, but I tend to talk.
Oh yeah, go.
Streams a lot. If you want to stream for you, just download a really basic streaming software. Stream for you. Super easy. Don't expect too much. You might get 1 viewers, you might get 2 viewers, but you will realize the moment you start to try and entertain those viewers, instead of playing the game, you don't make anywhere near as much progress on the game.
Yeah.
And you lose it as well. You lose the skill and the energy that you put into the game. Why do you think we've been playing Morrowind for like 20 hours and we're like 4 quests in to each quest line? We could have been halfway through the game by now if I was just powering through the game.
Yeah.
But the amount of companies, you said the word viral, and that very much sets me off. The amount.
Oh yeah, what's like the #1 job? And this is across the entire world. It's not just China. They all want to be like lawyers, doctors, and astronauts. It's not like that. A lot of that whole Chinese culture is even swaying and trending toward I want to be an influencer. Like some of the top most wanted or desired jobs, at least in America, and a lot of a lot of other first world countries. The most desired job is I want to be an influencer. I want to be just known. I want to make money. That whole line of thinking.
Of companies that come to me and go, hey Josh, we want to make a viral video. I'm like, oh mate, same. How do we do it?
Oh mate, same. How? Oh my god. Oh, same dude.
And they look at me and they go, we were hoping you could help with that because you've had some videos receive over 1 million views. I'm like, yeah, I have. And I've had way more not do that.
Yeah.
So,
they think when a company looks at something like that, they don't think about, he planned for that. They just look at the one peak. See, companies can make stupid decisions too. They do stupid things like regular people, and they will only see the peaks of a thing. They will completely ignore the build up or the fall down. They only will see the peaks of a thing. They completely ignore the valleys as if they don't exist. Oh, you remember that one video you got like a couple million views? Do that, but with this idea. It's like, that's not how it works.
So what we could do if you want to make a viral video is we could make hundreds of videos over many years, slowly improving our craft and slowly niching down into a very specific audience that we want to, cater to and have and entertain. And they look at me and they're like, no, we were hoping you could just make one video and it would get loads of views.
They don't want to hear that at all. Oh, man.
I'm like, gotcha. I see what's out. I'm picking up what you're putting down here. Let me counter.
And it's funny because a lot of times people look up to like these big ass, seemingly big companies. I mean, I don't know what like companies were like approaching Josh or whatever, but like, I would imagine they're not nobody. And for them to say or ask like to do for like an influencer to do like a monumentous, I can't even say that, monumental task such as just make a viral video It's like, oh brother, tell me the formula and I'll do it. It's like hilarious because that's so narrow-minded, because that's what every other person wants to do that is pursuing anything in like content creation slash influencer bro.
If I was able to do that, why would I work with you?
Yeah.
Like, if I could just do that, if I could wake up and be like, you know what?
Yeah, let's make a 2 million view video right now and then hit a button. Everybody would be hitting that button.
Guys, the only reason that I haven't put out a 10 million view video is
10 million.
I just don't want to. That's what it is. I can.
It's funny. It's like, I got it in me, but I just don't want to.
just choose not to. When I make a video, sometimes I make it too good. And I'm sitting there watching the final edited piece and I'm thinking, this is going to get 5 million views. That's too many.
That's too many.
Let me put some wrong things in. Let me make the editing a bit shitty. Let me talk to the algorithm and hobble my own kind of exposure to everything. Yeah, 800k to 1 million. That's good. I'll sit on that level. But companies come to me all the time and go, yo, can you get us these views? I'm like, look, if I could, I would get them for myself and not work with you, because working with you is stress and I don't want that. I want to wake up, play my
whenever you're working with someone, that other person always wants to bring in rules and things that you can do, things that you cannot do, and there's stipulations, connotations, make the game look good, don't say anything bad about the game, whatever. Yeah.
Silly games, make my silly videos, paint my little plastic boys, and go back to bed. That's what I want to do. I still edit the vast majority of my own stuff because I value it. I enjoy that. Yeah, let me shit this up a little bit. Let me make this a little bit worse. What plastic? Well, right now we've got both the boxes for the Warhammer: The Old World that I will be working through eventually. Hey, Mr. Josh, can you make a video for me that will get 2 million views? Best I can do you is 800k, and it will take about a month to get there.
Oh, dang.
That's what I can do.
Oh yeah, the big company don't want to hear that. That's what they don't want to hear.
That's where the worst MMO ever kind of sits in general. I really love it when companies come to you with no clue at all. I used to work with companies who wanted to do drama training for kids. And
drama training? What the fuck is that? And with kids, like what age range? Like obviously, like when you say kid, I assume under 18, but like how under 18? Like 13 to 17? Or 13 to 18 or something? Like, or is it like that weird range of like 8 to 12? Like, what do you mean drama training? That just sounds weird.
And they would come to me and they say, Mr. Hayes, you've got about a 6-week slot to work with these children. You'll see them for 1 hour a week. Can we put on a show?
Oh, I think, is he talking about acting?
I'm like, 6 hours. 6 hours is what you're giving me. And they will forget what I've taught them in lesson 1 by the time lesson 2 starts. And you want me to put on a show? Right? You'd be lucky if they remember anything I tell them over these 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You have far too much faith in me. Let's lower those expectations. Prepare to be whelmed. I mean, yeah, I can put on a show. It will not be good.
Dang, dude. That's funny.
I have a question.
The whole like following trends, like yes, to some degree you should not follow trends, but the thing about trends is that trends are trends for a reason. It's because somebody found something out and it worked. That's what makes a trend a trending. And you know, much the same way it's true in streaming is, you know, it's true in life. It's just hard, man. I mean, I can't really stress that enough. So, I mean, you could follow some trends with certain things, but I don't know. It's like it's so complex to talk about, like streaming and just being like an influencer bro and whatnot. But I think he handled it pretty well. It's pretty cool. I like Joss's stuff. So yeah, good stuff. I want to see more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.